All right. Today I want to talk about my one and only knife. Now, I recently did a video on the WE knife OAO, the one and only is the model name of it. And it got me thinking, if I had to choose for whatever reason, what would be my one and only knife? I had to get rid of all of these and the ones you can't see. What would be the knife in my own collection that I currently have that would be my one and only knife? And I would love to hear your guys' opinion of what your one and only knife would be in the folding world. I mean, I'm more of a folding guy than a fixed blade guy, so this pertains to folding knives. And I'll give you some criteria or some of my thoughts, and we'll get through this. And maybe a really quick video, and it may ramble on a little bit. We'll see. My one and only is here on the table. And feel free to comment now what you think it might be. You might be surprised. Okay? There is a difference between, for me, my one and only and my favorite. It may be the same, but it may not be the same for me or for you, right? Your favorite knife is the knife that you're carrying all the time, that you love the look of, you love the materials on. You know, this is maybe not, I don't know that I have a favorite knife, but your favorite knife may not be the knife that you are going to carry and have as your only knife. All right? So think about that a little bit first before you comment what your one and only is. Pricing is not an option or is not a factor. And I really want you to tell me what it is that you currently own as far as what your one and only knife is in your current collection. Now, I have a bunch of knives here, a few knives here, and some of them would be great choices. Others would not be such great choices. So for me, and I can only speak for me, this is a great knife. I love this knife. This is the Vandermeulen Blade Works Double Homicide. Okay. And I've done videos on all of these knives, so you can go check them out after this video. And please go check out the WE knife one and only video. It's an integral knife that has already been sent back to its owner. So I don't have it here to show, but I will link that video at the end. Okay. So this is a great knife, but is it the most practical? If I could only keep one knife, I don't think this kind of is practical. Size-wise, it's not super carryable on a daily in and out basis. You know, you may be in a suit and this may not work very well for you. So I'm going to put that off to the side because that is not, for me, my one and only. Okay. And I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to give a couple of examples. Here is a Kaiser Huntsman after the Huntsman Spider of Australia. After I looked up what an Australia Huntsman Spider is, I don't know that I really want to ever carry this knife again because I'm not like a, arachnophobia, I think is that the one that's scared of spiders? I'm not really scared of spiders, but geez, they're big spiders. They're like this big. They're 8-10 inch spiders. Yet no freaking thank you. But again, the shape of the blade, maybe not what I want to carry every day for the rest of my life. Okay? So we'll put that off to the side. The Peter Stain Latch 22 friction folder slip joint. And it's kind of interesting. It's a friction folder, but it has slip joint stops. Okay, and I've done videos on this. This is a fantastic knife. This thing will just cut for days and weeks and months and years on end and be perfectly fine. However, it's not my choice because of its super thick. It is big in the hand. But the mechanism would not be my one and only. So off it goes. You saw me with the Todd Fisher Senior Archangel earlier. Fantastic knife. Love the recurve. The blade shape is super usable. This was my carry knife for a long time. I carried this a lot when I first got it for days, months. It was kind of my main go-to big beater knife. But yeah, the flipper tab is not the most comfortable for me. The edges around the handle and things like that are a little bit not softened enough for me. So this is out. Love it. I love all these knives. The King Battle. Just a plainer version of the Battle. These are great knives. I have several Battles now in my collection. I've been fortunate, and this is the one that I've been carrying since I got it at the end of 2023, and I'm filming this in February of 2024. 39 days, something like that in my pocket. I don't know that I'm going to carry anything else for a while. This is still my main go-to. But that blade shape is not the most practical for a daily, not for a daily carry, but for a one and only. If this was my only knife in any configuration, whether it's full dress or more plain, it's just not, I mean, it's practical enough, but if I had to get rid of all of my knives and have only one knife the rest of my life, it would not be a Battle. I'm sorry. It's just not. That's where the favorite knife versus every, one and only knife comes into play. It's the New Breed EDC Clydesdale. Super practical blade. I don't love the opening. It does give you options, but I don't love it. I prefer flippers. I hate the reverse flick, but it does work. Super great blade shape and style, but not my thing. All right, so I'm not going to go through all of these. You've seen all of these knives before. They are all great. They are all awesome. This one and this one have fantastic daily, long-term carry blade shapes. Blade styles. Feel great in the hand. These both carry amazingly well. Super lightweight, 1.6 ounces. Yes, it's carbon fiber and all of that, but if this was my one and only, I would be worried that at some point, because it's the only knife I have, that I would sharpen the end of this. I would sharpen into the carbon fiber eventually. Okay, well, I wouldn't sharpen into the carbon fiber. My buddy Alex, who does all my sharpening, he would sharpen into the carbon fiber because God knows you don't want me sharpening anything. I learned back in Boy Scouts at an early age, yeah, not my forte. I love the Hellraisers. Again, just not the most practical. All right, let's just get right to it. The RJ Martin Q36SS. Out of all of the knives that I own right now today, this would be my one and only knife. It's carbon fiber, one of my favorite materials. It's light-ish weight. It's not 1.6 ounces. I don't remember what this weighs. But the action, fantastic, super slim, which is the SS. I'm going to zoom into normal size. I was zoomed out a little bit so you could see it all, so things might have looked slightly distorted. I meant to zoom in earlier. I love the red and the black. It is Magna Cut. I am not a huge... I mean, I'm a fan of Magna Cut. I'm not a fanboy and think it's the greatest thing in the world and the only blade steel that is worth anything. I don't think it's been out long enough for us to know that yet. But I will say, I've had this for a while, and I have cut a lot of stuff with it, and it is still crazy sharp. It still performs really well. It does have that recurve, has a normal belly. It's light enough to carry in a suit. If I'm going to a wedding or a thing I need a suit, I could carry this. It's not super scary in an office environment. The semi-mirror polished blade is not my favorite. I wish they were more tumbled, more satin finished, but the zirconium hardware, zirconium pocket clip, titanium lock side, all of that is just a win for me. So really, I'm basing it on its practical design, its size, its weight, the materials, carbon fiber Magna Cut. I know Magna Cut is going to survive and stay sharp for a very long time. It is made in the United States. That did not play into my decision making. But yeah, there you go. I mean, a lot of these knives are made in the United States. A lot of them on the table. Most of, if I think about it. This one's made up in Canada. And again, this would be a really good choice for somebody maybe. It just wasn't for me because I had other options in my collection. Made in the United States. The battles are made in the United States. This one is OEM'd out of China. Again, no problem with that. The Kaiser OEM out of China. No big deal. But for me, out of the things that I own today, it's the RJ Martin Q36 SS. If I owned a Q36, which is a bit thicker, probably more about the lines of the Bodega. And yes, this Bodega may look familiar. It is Big Red from Jim Skelton. It's now part of my collection. Okay. I think I would still choose the Q36 SS over the Q36 as my one and only knife. Because it's thin, because it's lightweight, and I love it. I do love this Eric Kramer Reaper. This was the very first handmade one-off custom that I ever bought. So this one is super special to me. Ironwood as the backspacer. I've done videos on this. It's a little bit scratched up because I carried the hell out of it when I first got it. And I met Eric at a show and bought it from him direct. So that was also special to me. So there you go, guys. Kind of a longer than I thought, drawn out a little bit more than I anticipated or tried to do. My one and only. Let me know in the comments what your one and only is, but it's got to be something that you own today. Not something you used to own, because if you sold it, it's obviously not your one and only. And it's not something that you want to get. It's something that you own today. And not only tell me what it is, but tell me why down below. This is really interactive. Tell me why you chose that particular knife. Much like I just told you why I did. Now, is this my favorite knife? I don't know. This one, at least right now, probably because it's new, is my favorite knife right now. I think I wanted it for so long, and I was able to obtain it. And it has special meaning for a lot of reasons. And I can go into those details later if anybody cares. Ask me, and maybe I'll do a video on why it is so meaningful to me at this point. So anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching. Check out the Wee Knife one and only that started this Dirkscussion over here in the corner, and have a fantastic day.